back to the grind with the only free MMA channel that fucking matters, full-time MMA. And I'm ready for these motherfucking fights. Whew! Ready for this Ultimate Fighter finale recap. I'm ready for, man, this is, by the way, man, I'm just going to get to it. This is the Ultimate Fighter Season 25 Redemption, Episode 12, Season Finale, last recap. Let's get it. We now know the results. Who will be fighting in the Ultimate Fighter finale? We'll get to it. Let's get to the start of the episode. Let me scroll up while we do that shit. Anyways, let's get to the start of the episode. If you remember last episode, we found out Diego Lima made it to the finals when he beat Toothless Tom Galicchio. And we also found out James Krause is probably, well, it looks like possibly not going to be able to fight in the fight versus Jesse Taylor because he got banged up in his fight versus Ramsey Nijem. He had a really bad eye injury. And so the TJ Dillashaw brings in a guest coach for this episode, Tim Elliott. And Tim Elliott turns out to be one of James Krause's real friends and training partners and coaches, and they bring in a couple more people from James Krause's crew, which is interesting. I don't know why they brought in his crew for this fight. I mean, they didn't bring in anybody else's crew. If he's fighting, he gets his real team versus what? I don't know. Probably most likely what? Against TJ Dillashaw, or the makeshift team he's had. I mean, without TJ Dillashaw in the corner. So that's interesting. But maybe, James Krause is going to need all the help he can get with the eye injury and with the fact that fucking Jesse Taylor is probably the biggest guy in the house. Like, when they stand next to each other, it looks like they're in different weight classes. James Krause might need to be fighting at 155. I don't know. He's just a lot smaller than Jesse Taylor. So if James is cleared to fight, he will still be wounded, but he says he's the anti-Jesse. He says he's built for fighters like Jesse Taylor. He's built to beat guys like that. But Jesse says he's trained with James a lot, and he'll use that to his advantage. He knows what he thinks he can do, and it's not going to happen. TJ Dillashaw, it looks like, is just training with Jesse Taylor. Maybe that's why they brought in James's team, because TJ's going to train with Jesse, and he'll get his own team. But that's weird, because that's an advantage for Jesse Taylor, the wrestler, because TJ Dillashaw has trained with both of these guys. Tim Elliott and the rest of James Krause's coaches have only trained with James Krause, so they can't give James Jesse's secrets. TJ can give Jesse James's secrets, so that's another advantage for Jesse Taylor, who already is not injured and already is the bigger guy. So everything's pointing to Jesse Taylor winning this fight. He's bigger, he's uninjured, he's healthy. Whatever, same thing. And also, he's got TJ Dillashaw, who's trained with both of them, a common coach. So damn, everything is stacked against James Krause, the UFC veteran here. So, now there gets some drama in the house. They start drinking. Let's get into the fucking drama. The fighters are all hoping Jesse doesn't get cleared so they can get the shot. But they're they're all hoping James Krause isn't cleared. His eye is actually injured, so they can get a redemption shot, an extra fight. Even though they lost, they want to get the shot, the fucking injury chance, another wild card. So they're all hoping that it'll be them. But the problem is there can only be one of them. So whoever gets the fight, everyone else is still going to be disappointed. So they're all rooting for James Krause's demise and shit like some fucking haters. And they're probably still not going to get picked because Cody Garbrandt gets to fucking pick the fighter anyway. So, come on, dude. I'm telling you, James Krause got into some bullshit before the fight. They were all salty and jealous and wanting this spot, and it was some crazy shit we're going to get into. But first, James Krause goes and does the eye test to a doctor. The doctor says he lost 80% of his eye skin, but they're going to see if it's healing correctly and if he'll be healed on time to fight. He says it's not looking good. They start doing the eye test, and James is having trouble. It's looking like he can't read the letters, so it's looking like he's not going to get cleared. But then the doctor says, well, James, you're cleared to fight. Like, the suspense was real. He said, you are available to fight, but, be careful, your eye, blah, blah, blah. So he cleared him to fight. It was very unexpected. And the doctor hit us with, Mari suspense. You are not the father. You don't know what's coming after the ER. That's what the doctor was like, dude. Some shit like that. Well, James, you are cleared to fight. Anyway, so he is cleared to fight, and so it's the nighttime now. After he's cleared to fight, the guys are drinking. James Krause and his friends are all, just talking amongst each other, and James is telling Tim Elliott and his other coaches about how these guys have been bitches this whole season, and how they've been, or not this whole season, but how they've been ever since they found out that he has a possibility of losing his shot, and they all want his shot. He's been telling them how they've all been bickering and pissing him off. He's telling his team, like, man, they've been being assholes. I'm telling you, watch. They're getting drunk. They're probably about to do some stupid shit. Because they were all getting drunk on some Budweisers. I mean, fuck, that's the sponsor. They had it in there for a reason. That's what they were drinking. So they're all drinking. The losers are in the hot tub, though. The guys that have lost on the show. They're all in the hot tub amongst each other. They're in the loser circle. And Tim Elliott, the winner of season 24, and now James Krause moving on to potentially the finale, they're in their own circle, the winner's circle. So we got the loser's circle and the winner's circle. The losers are getting drunk in the hot tub. They start causing trouble with the winner's circle. James Krause in the winner's circle. They start talking shit, like, just talking shit back and forth. I don't know exactly what they said. They were just talking shit back and forth, pretty much saying, oh, you're a bitch, shit like that. And James and them ain't having it. They know they're all just drunk and salty, and they're like, man, fuck them, don't even respond to them. They're just so jealous and all that shit. And then one of the fucking losers throw a fucking gallon water bottle over at the winner's circle, and that's when shit gets real, because one of the guys smacked the bottle away before it hits James Krause in the face, and he's like, hey, that shit would have just hit me in the face. Fuck that, y'all. Let's go inside. So they try to avoid the situation still. The losers are just following them, trying to start shit. They follow him into the house. They're drunk, trying to pick shit with Tim Elliott now, the little guy. Because Tim Elliott was one of the guys voicing his opinion in the winner's circle. Like, hey, man, why don't you guys shut up? That's why you guys lost and I won. And he's over here about to win because you guys are jealous little bitches. So, that pissed off these fucking drunk welterweights. You got little Tim Elliott talking shit. They're mad and they're following him in. You know how that happens, man. Whenever somebody, a tough guy, sees somebody that they think they can beat up, and they proceed to egg on the fight and try and get the little guy to fight him and do whatever they can to get the little guy to hit him so they can beat up the little guy. But if it was somebody like Brock Lesnar, they wouldn't be following him. You're going to tell me Julian Lane? I'm telling you, the dude, let me bang, bro. I liked him. He pissed me off this episode. I don't know about his shit. I thought he matured and grew up. No, he turned into that same little fucking bully. It's like Cody Garbrandt was rubbing off on him. He was straight bullying. Hey, TJ Dillashaw, they said, was a really good coach, and, shit rubbed off. So, hey, Cody Garbrandt's got to be teaching these guys something. But anyways, Let Me Bang Bro was trying to bang with a 125-pounder, and back to the point. Yeah, if it's Demetrius Johnson, you want to bang. But I'm just curious if he would want to bang with Brock Lesnar or Alistair Overeem or Stipe Miocic. Would you still want to let me bang, or would you follow Brock Lesnar into the house? Or would you stay in the hot tub? Because a lot of these tough guys, I swear to God, you can lie and say you would. A lot of people listening, man. Just a lot of people in life that just listen. Yeah, anybody, anywhere, any place. Bitch, shut up. I don't want to hear that shit. If it was Alistair Overeem, you, just like me, would not talk that shit. That's why I wouldn't talk that shit to motherfucking Demetrius Johnson either. I'm not a shit starter. I mean, like, as far as, I'm not going to go out here and just try and beat up on littler fucking people. And when I know I'm not going to do the same shit to Brock Lesnar. So, leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to leave you the fuck alone. I'm not a bully. I don't like that shit. That's why I'm not a shit starter. If I talk shit like this, it's because I'm talking shit, I'm talking shit. I'm just giving an opinion. I'm not on here saying, oh, you're a fucking bitch, man. I would beat your ass in real life. Like, I'm not on here doing that shit, no. Because that's not me. But anyways, that's why this shit pissed me off. Because Julian Lane was really, if you didn't watch the episode, I'm telling you, it would have pissed you off most likely. You can just see the size difference. Literally, Tim Elliott fought at 125 pounds, and these guys are fighting at 170. So you got 55 pounds on this dude, and you're pushing him and throwing hands. And, yeah, what? You want some problems? You want some fucking problems? I was honestly surprised Tim Elliott's coaches and friends didn't jump in sooner and say, hey, what the fuck are you doing? He's small. Hey, bring that shit my way. You know what I'm saying? That ain't cool, man. Like, I don't like when people pick on the smaller guy. So, I'm surprised, man. Even fucking, who was it? James Krause wasn't jumping in. Like, well, I guess that wouldn't have been a good idea because they would have probably swung at James because they were jealous of him. And he had that eye injury. He can't aggravate that. But they had some bigger coaches, though. It wasn't just James Krause and Tim Elliott. There was 2 other coaches there, too. Somebody should have stepped in and said, hey, he's 125 fucking pounds. Cut that shit out. Grow up, dude. You're drunk or something, bro. They needed that one guy from the last episode to come in and hold him back. I do let you bang, bro. But he's 125 pounds. Go bang on someone else. Come on, Julian. I like Julian, man. Why did he have to go at Tim Elliott? Come on. That shit was not cool to me. That shit was corny. Anyways, the losers. Julian's pushing Tim Elliott, and he ends up taking a couple swings of damn near. So the guys, like the actual fighters, end up breaking it up. What's his name? Jesse Taylor, who's about to fight against James Krause. He even comes up like, hey, Julian, chill. You lost, bro. Come on. Why are you about to fuck up my fight? Because James Krause had to step in like, hey, don't fucking put your hands on my dude. You know, I would have been so pissed off if one of these fucking salty little assholes would have ruined the fight for James Krause after he got cleared by the doctor, and then they went and fucking injured his eye in a little house scuffle because they were salty that he fucking is in the finals. That would have been some corny shit. So, anyways, you see where my thoughts are on that shit. So, Justin Edwards, he's with Team Julian. He's drunk too. Fucking another 175-pound Team Red trying to pick fights with little 125-pounder. And so, but Tim Elliott had some good shit to say. He understood what was going on. This happens quite a bit. But he said, winners can hang. They can handle adversity. They can handle people talking shit. It's not the people who don't take shit from anybody that's the winner. It's the guy that can take shit from everybody and still move forward that's the winner. And I appreciated that because he was dead on, in my opinion. I mean, it's not technically true, but he had a good fucking message there. The people that can't, oh, I don't like what you said, so I'm going to fucking block your comments. Those ain't the winners. But I don't like what you said, so I'm going to beat up the little guy. I don't like what the 125-pounder said, so now we got to fight. Well, what if Brock Lesnar said it? What if Asher said it? What if Stipe said it? What if motherfucking John Jones said it? Bitch, shut up and stop lying to yourself. Yeah. Fuck you, Tam-Mad, dude. Anyways, so that damn near made me root for James Krause, like, as far as a hard over head pick. As far as your head, there's no way you can pick James Krause to win this fight. He's injured. He's way smaller. And he's going against Jesse Taylor, who has TJ in his corner, who's giving him his secrets, telling him, yeah, James gets hit in every fight. Like, damn, you know, he's got everything stacked against him. And then on top of that, he's got these salty bastards picking at his heels. So he is the underdog here, and I do like the underdog and shit. So I do. This would be a heart over head pick. That made me root for. And the fucked up part is I ain't even mad at Jesse Taylor. He wasn't even one of the assholes fucking with James. So it ain't like I'm rooting against Jesse. I just didn't like the bullshit that happened to James. So I'm kind of, I kind of want him to win a little bit. But at the same time, it's like Jesse Taylor. He's a motherfucking savage. He's probably, man, the best dude in the house. He's big, wrestle fucker. He's not the most entertaining fighter, but shit, it's going to be hard to do something about him. The way he's cutting weight, like, he just looks bigger than all of these dudes almost. Like, as far as James Krause, he just looks a weight class bigger. So, now it's fight time because there was no smoke at the weigh-ins at all. Like, out of all the drama that happened in the house, there wasn't really no smoke at the weigh-ins, so now it's fight time. Jesse Taylor's 30-15 versus James Krause, 23-7. James Krause is the UFC vet. He's in the UFC. Jesse Taylor had the greatest redemption story of all these people. As far as the Ultimate Fighter tournament, he didn't lose in the house. He was 4-0, and fucking, he acted like an ass. Went out, partied, got in a limousine, broke windows, said, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm a UFC fighter, did everything wrong. Dana said, hey, if you're doing all that shit now before you're even signed, imagine what you're going to be like once the chicks actually want to hang out with you, and people want your autograph, and people actually give a shit about you. So I can't even let you fight in the finals. Kicked him off until he matured. This season, he actually showed his maturity. Showed he's not that young douchebag anymore. He went, fought in other promotions, did everything he had to do until he matured, and now he's in the finals again, still undefeated in the TUF house, and so that's a epic redemption story versus James Krause. His redemption story isn't too hot, like as far as he had to come back from all of this crazy shit, but he's in the finale. So round one, man. Round one was a close fight. James Krause shot in for a takedown. It reminded me of the fucking Rumble Johnson Cormier fight. You didn't expect him to go for the takedown, but he did, and he actually landed the takedown. But after that, Jesse Taylor just took over. He reversed him on the ground. It was almost, yeah, it was like the Cormier Rumble fight, except for James Krause didn't have that knockout power. He was supposed to be, he wasn't looking for the knockout. James Krause really, shit, I don't know what his plan, his path to victory is in this fight. Go a submission, or striking, try and stay on your feet and, keep your distance, but that definitely didn't work. So round one, it was a grind, because after that, they were on the ground. Both fighters ended up scoring 2 takedowns in that round, but Jesse Taylor still won the round, in my opinion. He landed some ground and pound, and he controlled the grind for most of the round one. So, in my opinion, Jesse Taylor won a close round one. And Jesse Taylor dominated round two from the very beginning. Took him down in the beginning and just wrestle-fucked him the entire fight with some heavy ground and pound to actually do some damage. So, it wasn't like he was just holding him down. He was doing damage. It was pretty clear who won that round. Jesse Taylor probably like a 10-8, maybe a 10-7. So, now it's round three. Jesse secures another takedown early in the fight, and then he ends up putting James Krause to sleep with a deep topside guillotine. Puts him to sleep really fucking fast. Herb Dean calls it off. Fucking James, you could tell James Krause was just too small for Jesse Taylor here. He was getting he just got grinded out the entire fight. So Jesse Taylor secures his fight versus Diego Lima in the Ultimate Fighter finale. And so now let's get in a little to the finale. So Jesse Taylor, that caps his redemption story. He's now 7-0 in the TUF house with one of the best redemption stories ever. And look, this season about redemption, that shit is epic as hell. It's good to see him come in, redeem himself. He's matured now. Now it's just time to see if he can finish it versus Diego Lima Friday. That's tomorrow, since I'm recording this on Thursday. But yeah, so tomorrow they'll be fighting, and we'll see what happens. Who knows what could have been, though, if Jesse Taylor didn't act an ass, if he was already ready, mature with those skills that he had, if he was mature with those skills, if he didn't get kicked out of the house, didn't go ape shit, was ready, who knows how good he could have been in the actual UFC if he fucking wasn't a jackass. But how many people are there like that are very fucking talented, very skilled, and they don't get their shot, or they fuck up their shot, or they don't capitalize on their potential because they are, they do what Jesse Taylor did. They fucking go out and break windows, and they pump their fucking chest, and they act too big for their britches, and they're not ready. That happens out there. So, but it is an epic redemption story. After the fight, Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw square off in the cage for the motherfucking fight that isn't happening on Friday. They fucking squared off in the cage. It was a slow motion square off. Cody Garbrandt put his knuckles on TJ's face. It was pretty epic. TJ definitely wasn't backing down. TJ's ready to motherfucking fight. Cody Garbrandt's back's injured. But I did think about some crazy shit to finish this all out. Think about it. Diego Lima versus Jesse Taylor. Diego Lima versus a fucking elite wrestler. Now, let's move over to Bellator. Who's Rory McDonald fighting? Rory McDonald, the epic wrestler. Who's he fighting in his welterweight title fight? Douglas Lima, Diego Lima's brother. You've got to think Diego and Douglas have the same fighting style. Strikers, with decent takedown defense, Dana White says, and they're also good. They're pretty good everywhere, but their takedown defense is decent. That's what Dana White said when he was talking about Diego Lima at the end of the episode. And now, both the Lima brothers are going against an epic wrestler, a very skilled wrestler, elite wrestler. Roy McDonald, elite wrestler. Jesse Taylor, elite wrestler. And they're both going against a Lima brother. Isn't that some fucking crazy ass coincidental shit? I'm interested to see how if those fight play out in the same way. It might not, because one Lehman brother might be better than the other Lehman brother. One guy's wrestling skills might translate better against that Lehman brother. So I mean, it's not like the exact same fight, but it's interesting to see how they play out, how each one plays out. Will the Lehman brother win in both fights? Will the wrestler win in both fights? Will it be mixed? Will Roy win one fight, Lima win the other fight? Will Douglas win one fight, Jesse win the other fight? That's interesting as hell to me, and that's what I just thought about. I'm interested to see the comments. This is The Ultimate Fighter Season 25 Redemption, Episode 12, Finale, Recap, Finale. We did it. Fuck you, Time MMA. We fucking got caught up before the motherfucking finale happened. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're going to be watching that shit tomorrow, Friday, July 7th. Michael Johnson versus Justin Gaethje, the main event. That's going to be an epic fight. Somebody's getting finished in that fight for sure. So I don't know what else to say, man. It is what it is. Let the hitters know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. Dude.